When I graduated from high school, I decided to go to Spartan School of Aeronautics and get my A&P mechanics because I like being around little airplanes. I got an incredible education. I learned everything you could about airplane systems, which later on prepared me for my professional career as an engineer, an aeronautical engineer and experimental flight test, because I had been pre-trained on every system on an airplane. That was an amazing contribution to my career. My name's Steve Testrake, and I'm an engineer for Northrop Grumman Corporation. Got introduced into it when I was 8 years old by my Uncle John Testrake. He was a captain for TWA. He encouraged me and eventually joined Civil Air Patrol, got my private pilot's license through CAP. Turned out my uncle had gone to Spartan, my dad had gone to Spartan. It was family. And the school had such a great reputation. And at that point, it was all the vets coming back from Vietnam. So I was the youngest kid in the class, and all of my classmates were all very experienced Vietnam veterans. And so I was a bit of the youngster in the crowd. Interesting memories. I learned a lot from those guys. Some of them had been there a long time. They remembered my dad and my uncle who had gone to school at Spartan in the 40s and in the 50s. Ended up working for Continental Airlines. I was a flight line mechanic on 727s and DC-10s. Worked on avionics and instruments and electrical line. Did that and then moved to engine overhaul. So I was overhauling CF6s and GT8s. And when I graduated, I got into experimental flight tests and got hired right out of college to be a flight test engineer on the B-1 bomber. And then 3 years later, got to be part of the B-2 bomber, but we laid the keel, and I was up there 6 months out of the year, all over that airplane, getting it ready for a very first flight, for the first weapons drops, all through the whole test program. When the flight test program wound up, I left Northrop and went down to a company in San Diego called Cubic Corporation. Got involved in air combat maneuvering instrumentation. Did that, worked for Cubic for 16 years, and now I just moved back to Northrop. I've been back at Northrop Grumman since 2013, and I'll hopefully be retiring here in 2022. And that's where I'm going to be spending the next 10 years or so, running a small airplane company. So coming back to my roots. Well, first of all, get a training and an education where you can make money doing it. Having a trade is critically important. You got to have a trade. You got to be able to do something productive. And I really encourage people to think about aircraft maintenance. I've actually mentored some young people doing it right now, mentoring them to get their A&P, because it's something you can take anywhere in the world with you, especially with all of us old guys getting ready to retire and leave the workforce. Huge demand for mechanics and pilots. Spartan's a great way to go.